All right, y'all. Peace, peace. What's good? We got Godson here. Usually I go by Ito Langston. You feel me, as an artist. But the whole purpose of us being here today is this being my channel, man, my YouTube channel. But specifically, I'm setting the intention that I want this to be just that, a channel, right? And that's why I appropriately named it EphrIAM. You feel me? Because me sharing this with y'all, where I'm at in this place in my life, it's a whole journey of me becoming, and I feel like really getting in tune, with the alignment of just being the person I am. You feel me? I could say, I said it the other day, like on the live before, I could say being the person I'm meant to be, but it's like I'm already that person. And I feel for so many of us, we kind of stray away from it over and over again. We go through cycles, ups and downs, highs and lows, of like having this thought in the back of our minds, like, yo, in the back of my mind at least, I know I'm meant to be this person. But it's like the only thing stopping me from being this person is simply a choice right now in the present moment. So for that reason, this space that I'm creating is really different, and the whole purpose at the end of the day is me making a choice, choosing to center myself. You feel me? So yeah, getting in tune with self, who I am, right? And I feel along with who I am, right? I know a large part of my purpose is being a creator. And that's the whole reason why I got the reflection. You see it in the back probably a couple times. Y'all gonna see it now. But Godspell, that's the first project I put out as a musical artist. Me, like, independently. Ito Langston presents Godspell. You feel me? And the whole point is just that my choice, even though it is a choice, again, like, it's so easy to give into the opposite. But I choose to reflect God, and at least I'll say the lighter side of God. Though I'm learning to fully integrate, right? I feel as a whole person, a whole being, right? We always gonna have this light and this dark, right? We have these different themes, and that's why I have I have an alter ego named Alter Ego as well, as as a musical artist, because, like, I like to represent myself through the light and the dark. But now I'm just in a new place in my life where, again, I moved to a new state, new city, being in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm at right now. And it's like embracing creator mode is just to express, all the many facets of myself, the many personalities, right? Even just creating moments, whether that be with my family, my sister, nieces and nephews, the people I care about. You feel me? Getting more in tune with my family, even as I've, like, moved from my hometown, like, and I have different family out here too. But yeah, I've made this choice to be the person that I am in my life, and I'm grateful, and I'm, like, pleasantly surprised that a lot of the things that I used to do, right, the habits, the old programming, you feel me, in my subconscious mind, because that's another big thing, right? We all have our programs that we're indoctrinated with, and that we just, in a sense, are like domesticated and programmed with just from an early age. Everyone has a program, like good or bad. That's just what it is. That's how we operate. That's our operating system. So for me, choosing to like look at my program and like, all right, I'm going on to something new. I realized so much in my personal journey, like how much courage it takes. And I see why so many people fall victim to, I guess for lack of better words, you could say, or even though it really is a choice at the end of the day, a lot of people choose fear, over love. And what I really feel within me, like in my soul, in my spirit, I'm here to embody love. You feel me? So me doing something that's continuously purpose driven, like day after day after day, taking it one day at a time, but like, yo, today I'm gonna do the best that I can to embody love. And with that being said, like naturally I spread the love, but it just started taking on this whole new form when I chose to love myself first. You feel me? Like I centered who I am, and like this is what I'm doing for me and my purpose, which ultimately it impacts my family, my family's future, and creates a whole new cycle, if you will, breaking away from the old things that weren't working. So like, it's funny how centering yourself is like, or for me, centering myself, because if I speak for myself, it seems like the most selfless thing I can say. Like, I don't know, the most selfless thing I can say that I'm doing, like that I've chosen to do in my life. And it's so funny how like even just having a hard time saying that is just crazy, because like I don't know, it's not something, maybe most of us, we don't really think about it like that way, especially when you're so conditioned to, like, a lot of people, they talk about people pleasing, giving this to this person, that person, like just giving out energy. I'm a person who's always supported the people around me, and I like to spread love and spread my energy to just support other people. But it's just so funny and like ironic but true at the same time when it's like, yo, the more we help ourselves, then the more we really help other people. So that being said, is like, yeah, I gotta take radical accountability. Like, I got a song called Accountability, and that's becoming a big part of my brand as well, like being synonymous with who I am. And if that's also part of my purpose, like, so be it. I embrace it, and I do take ownership for it, because it's like, yo, when I can take accountability for my life and my path, I've never felt like, really, truly, but I'll never be a victim, because no one can put me in a position that I didn't choose to be in. You feel me? Like, I didn't, like, of course, somehow I played a part, but acknowledging that, you feel me? Like, I can't say like, oh, this is someone else's fault, because as the creator, I get to create my own reality, right? I get to choose what happens, and whatever amount of success I achieve in life, no matter how that looks, whether it's monetary, as well as just the other things that are extremely abundant in life, you feel me? It's like, this is what I chose for my experience. And so that being said, I'm expecting that this might be beneficial to other people, just me sharing my journey, those watching it, just because somewhere along my journey, because I'm gonna be consistent, and I'm just gonna continue to rinse and repeat, you feel me? Just continue to what's the word? Words. But nah, like, yeah, just continue the repetition. That's what it is. Like, continue to repeat. Oh, the light's coming off on me too. My process. And I just feel like that's a large part of success. Because I realized I was even speaking to my mom not too long ago, like just talking about a lot of the changes and where I'm at in my life. You feel me? I'm young, 26 years old. I'm about to be 27 soon. You feel me? It's really like within about a month. 1 month, like I'm gonna be a new age, 27, and I'm just having the thoughts, like when I talk to people and they like, yo, like they're 30, and it's not like it's that funny or nothing like that, but it's just funny to think about for myself, like dang, like I'm about to be 30, bro, like it's so different. Cause I think the question is often like, yo, how did I get here? You feel me? Like I was just a kid, I was a child, but nah, like it's life. You feel me? And that's why I feel like the accountability and the ownership is so important, because the more we just give our time away, we just let day after day pass by. Like even myself, like, yo, I'm gonna create that content, then I'm like whatever. But it's like, nah, man, what's happening right now? And it's so easy like to take things for granted. Feel me? I feel like it's so easy as a person to wake up and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna get tomorrow. But it's like, for me, I know a specific part of my journey I've talked about, even within my music and just in conversation now, the aspects of grief that has like shaped my journey. Like there's multiple people I love that have moved on, including my sister. I think about like 2 years ago now. I've been getting more and more vocal because I do feel like in order to heal certain things and really go through the grieving process, it's important to acknowledge this, right? So I realize even just in my conversation, a lot of people might not even relate to that. For one, if they've never experienced the loss of a family member, so-called loss, like at least just physically, they don't know exactly what it feels like. But also, even if they have lost someone, they might not have given themselves the opportunity to acknowledge the reality of their situation, or really just process and sit with the emotions. So for me, so much more recently, it's just been embodying emotion and expression and feeling. And like I feel like that's the true mark of a creator and an artist, to feel things and to create the space where you're allowing other people to feel things. So ideally, whatever I create, my art, this video, you feel something from it. Maybe you feel my passion, you feel my energy, whatever it be. If it draws you in, then this is a space for us to connect in that way. And yeah, I do want to hear from the community that I continue to build. I've already built community, I feel like, in the real life, in the IRL, in person. I always do that because I'm just like the magnetic person in that sense. Super Sag game, five Sag placements. Come on. So it's a lot of fiery energy and it draws people in. But doing it digitally nowadays, I feel like there's just so much space. It's limitless. It's endless to be able to reach more and more people. And I think for myself, so much of my time has spent like the anxiety of it, even the projection, what I felt from other people, the constant subconscious thought where as people were like, yo, I don't want to be perceived. Even though I realized I've been having a conversation, like I spent almost half of my life on social media, that being like Instagram. I've been on Instagram for like more than 10 years, like probably 10 to 12 years, and like I've hardly taken a break from it. So it's just crazy, like we live in this world where I'm like, dang, like I've spent almost a majority of my life, and it's getting to that point, right, where I'm gonna be like, yo, I've spent majority of my life on social media. And even now I was on Facebook first, so it was other stuff to where we're connecting digitally. But truth be told, like it's also, I love connecting with people. And a part of the reason I create, right, is to allow people to experience what I do and what I have to say. So that being said, like opening myself up, opening that throat chakra, the communication, I want to allow simply, like I don't want to be in my own way. I don't want to create blockages. Really, I want to create flow. And for me doing this, I feel like it's way more intimate where I'm recording something and I'm like, yo, let me get these thoughts off. But even then, the more and more I get in tune with myself, and sometimes, like, usually the longer I get in that flow state, it's like I'm just beginning to channel what I feel and what really needs to be said. And it becomes really soul led, like really spirit led. You feel me? It just gets so much out of my ego, and I feel like I just have a natural gift for that. So at the very least, I don't want to ever feel like I'm wasting anything, but like, nah, it's like, we could never, like, I could never. It's how I feel. But what I'm saying is, like, I do feel that I should be able to be open enough and transparent enough to really share my story. You feel me? So it's choosing love, right? To let go of the fear of, what happens when I create this, right? Even with success versus chaos. When so many of us, like, I've had an upbringing in different capacities just with my family on either side where, it's been functional within chaos. And now I'm like, shoot, well, I don't want the old way of living. Like, I'm not the person I was before, right? I don't want the things that I've experienced in my past life. So me choosing to be a new person, I have to choose new things. And that means even like new principles and habits for success. So that being said, it's like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to be yeah, that's like, I feel like that's confirmation. I'm not even gonna say it the way I was gonna say. What I am going to say, right? That stopped me, right? That's funny, but for a reason. What I'm gonna say is that, again, I'm going to allow and choose my own success. And I realized the first part of that, for me, has just been getting started. And I've gotten started so many times. That's the thing. So maybe, you're a person where it's like, I've gotten started so many times. And like, I've stopped myself, right? And we self-sabotage. And even I talk about the one book. I don't want to, I think it's Dr. Joe Dispenza. I have back there, like, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is like one of my books that I've been, let me see. Yeah, I've been reading this a lot. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I've been talking about this book so much because when I got it, when I first heard about it, I didn't really want to read it. But now I've been carrying it around. I've been telling people about it, and they're just like so intrigued because it's talking about everything that this year has been like. It's like I manifested the book. Like, I feel like I really do feel so, though, like, because I was just being open, and I'm like, how do I change my life, right? And just feeling like I'm having this spiritual awakening one after another. I mean, at this point, that's what it's been. Getting in tune with my spirit. And to do that, I don't like the idea of, like people would say, kind of like, I don't know, dying, like ego death, or like, yourself, like removing yourself, if you catch my drift, like what I mean. But what I'm saying is, like, I get it though. The point is that I don't want to be the version of myself that I was previously. To like reprogram, your mind, losing your old subconscious mind habits of chaos and self-sabotage. And now for me, removing those habits, and even though they were never mine to begin with, they were all projected and they were programmed. Like, I learned it somewhere. Like, those things aren't actually me. That's not who I am. So choosing to be who I am is like, oh, okay, let me lose this mind that I had. Let me lose that mind, right? That's not my mind. I still have my mind, but let me lose all of the projections and the ego that was like given to me. And I just accepted it for so long. But now to have boundaries and accept who I really am is like, yo, this person is great. So because I know I'm great, and I love the person that I am, and I can see myself like truly, I feel in that regard, that's what it takes to start in my foundation to be like, okay, I'm happy with sharing this person with other people. Because I think that's really what it comes down to. You know, I can't speak to everyone else and other people's experience all the time, but I feel like so many people in this world is just like, yo, we're not happy with the person we are, so we don't want to present it. We don't want to be perceived by other people because it's like, I don't like that person. It's how a lot of people feel. But I'm very happy with myself. I love myself. Like, I'm very grateful to be who I am. And maybe this sounds like redundant in a sense, but like, nah, like, again, repetition of like, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm choosing. This is what I'm choosing and accepting. So, yeah, that's a little bit about EphrIAM. You feel me? Who I am. And yeah, I want to get more into the purpose, like, and being purpose driven. But I think as we go along, like, I'm gonna just naturally share more about that. I'm gonna map some of this content out right for y'all, and it's like I don't even want to say reverse, 'cause I was gonna say like reverse engineering, but like, nah, re-engineering. And again, like, it's a renewal of myself, like a renewal of my mind, and me reintroducing who I am to the world. So that's the point of going from like my given name Ephraim to EphrIAM, excuse me. I'm still getting accustomed to it, because Ephraim is like how it's spelled, the name that I was given, like, so EphrAIM, and it's like me taking aim on life. That's where I started. You know, so much of my early 20s, that first quarter of a century, 25 and I'm 26. But it's funny how it was just really manifested in the past year. I was just taking aim for things, and I didn't know exactly what I was going to. In a sense, I've always had the big picture, because I am that person of like, I can zoom out, and a very very like future focused. But I would say actually me being more present now, is like, it's still not that I know exactly like what's going to happen or where I'll end up on my journey. But now that I'm present enough, I can allow the things to happen, because I already get the big picture, and success, like health, wealth, like, that's everything. And even just being in tune with that, my spirit, you feel me? Like, spirit being breath, what I breathe, like. And I say that in a sense of, it's just wild to me, but like, what I breathe almost is like, again, what I do habitually, like my repetition, eat, sleep, breathe over and over again. So it's like what I'm doing frequently, that becomes my frequency. So yeah, at this point in my life, I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I think really letting go of that control and allowing like God to flow through me, and for me to be that representation and that vessel, that light, that conduit to channel this message with y'all. That's what I'm here to do. And I feel like we all can channel, like, truly, whenever we get into the mode of like, let's get into our spirit, right? What are we breathing in? What's really resonates with us, versus just the ego mind of how can I protect myself, and how can I kind of escape this fear. You feel me? So yeah, choosing love is like, at the end of the day, I love myself and I love doing this. It's like I'm having a conversation with myself before y'all even get to see it. It's like I'm really talking to me. So that's why you can expect, like, yeah, this channel is gonna be a lot of me having these introspective thoughts. But I know, like, my mind is just so fluid and it's so expansive to where people might be really interested to see like how my mind works, and my spirit though too, like, you know, just as important, because it really is mind, body, and spirit. Like, holistically, I've been really embodying a lot too, and yeah, I feel like that keeps me grounded, just being in tune and being in touch with self. So my goal is to integrate into this whole being. You feel me? The left and right brain, you know, the creative, the structure, the organization, the spirit, the health is wealth, you know, all of that. So yeah, I'm gonna share that with y'all, and this is a little bit of me awakening to EphrIAM. So thank you for listening. I'm gonna tap in with y'all more soon. Peace.